She makes some amazing food. If you would like to be invited, just raise your hand and she will say yes. Jokes apart, she's an amazing cook. But watch out for her moves on the dance floor as well. This rock and roll enthusiast can shake a leg. Fun fact about Rohini. Rohini is infamous for her absent-minded antics and once left her laptop behind in a training session, traveled 2 hours before she realized that it was missing. Rohini calls herself, as I said, Rohini calls herself leadership guru and a forgetful charmer. I'm sure she charmed her way through whoever was driving her and got back her laptop. On that note, welcome Rohini as she talks about demystifying assessments in coaching, a question we often ask ourselves. Thank you.
Hogan, MBTI, extended disc, 360-degree feedbacks. Welcome to this amazing yet dizzying world of assessments. From self-reported questionnaires to full-fledged psychometric assessments, the options just seem endless. I'm sure as a coach, it has been tempting at times to dive into the latest and greatest assessments, all eager to impress our clients. I'm sure as a coach, you've wondered at times, which assessment will help me weave my magic and create those aha moments for my clients? Or perhaps you're a skeptic. You've preferred to dismiss assessments as flashy distractions, preferring to trust your gut and intuition instead. Well, love them or hate them, there's definitely no ignoring them. Assessments are here to stay. And so today, I, Rohini D'Souza, am here to help you navigate this fascinating yet bewildering world of assessments. I'd like to start with a confession. 12 years ago, when I started out as a coach, I used to look at assessments as that flashy accessory, much like that glittery phone case. I thought I'd dazzle my clients with assessments and honestly make a quick buck. So I used to use assessments in my coaching. I used to toss them into my sessions like confetti without realizing its true value. Fast forward to today. I'd like to believe I'm not just older, but also wiser. Over the years, I've come to appreciate assessments and change my perspective from them being mere accessories to realizing their true potential. Still wondering if you should use assessments in your coaching? Imagine you're painting your house. You would first need to put the primer, over which you would apply your favorite shade of paint. The paint without the primer is futile. It just won't stick. The primer serves as that important foundation. But I'm sure you agree with me that while the primer serves the purpose, the paint adds that much needed edge and sparkle. My dear coaches, your coaching presence and expertise is that essential primer. It's the very foundation on which the success of your coaching lies. Assessments, then, are those various shades and hues of paint that add depth and brilliance to your coaching sessions. So how can you and I use assessments in our coaching effectively? Well, here are some guidelines from your friendly neighborhood psychologist and coach, which I'd like to present to you as the WISE, W-I-S-E framework. W stands for understanding your why. First things first, ask yourself, Why am I using this assessment? Remember, the assessment needs to serve the needs of your coachee more than our excitement about the latest trend. Reflect on what the coaching goals are, the context of the coaching, or the preferences of your coachee. Remember that it is absolutely important to use assessments for the purpose they are intended for. Using the wrong assessments or even the right ones incorrectly can be disastrous, much like a misdiagnosis in a health checkup. Imagine you're coaching Sarah, a high potential leader who's not aware of her blind spots. Using the Hogan assessments, you could probably help Sarah understand her potential derailers and help her navigate through these in her leadership journey. Or perhaps Sarah is unaware about her strengths, and using the Strengths Finder, you help her to identify what her true strengths are. I stands for investigate. Just like you would trust the result of a medical test only if you knew that medical test was accurate and valid, use assessments that are backed by rigorous scientific research. Beware of the hype. Remember that popularity does not equate with precision. Be careful. There are a lot of assessments that can be more trend than truth. So before you invest your time, your money, and resources in getting that certification for the assessment that you're looking for, ask your assessment provider for validation studies and reliability tests. It's like asking for a warranty before you buy a car. You're making sure that the tool you're using is effective and reliable. Let's come to S in our WISE framework. S stands for simplify. Make sure that the reports of the assessments you're using are really easy to understand and difficult to misinterpret. If you're going to be confounded by the report, it is in all likelihood going to confuse your coachee as well. Remember, a lengthy and complex assessment is not always effective. In fact, brevity can be key to engage your coachee to do the assessment. And lastly, E, which is leveraging your expertise. Remember, debriefing is key to understanding assessments and the insights they bring. If you are not competent or certified on a tool, your interpretation can actually perpetuate bias and lead to inaccurate insights. So, make sure the assessment that you're using is something that you're confident, competent, and certified on. Or, alternatively, bring in that expert who could debrief both the assessment to you and your coachee. I'm hoping by looking at this WISE framework or guidelines, you are able to understand how assessments can deepen our insights about our coaching and elevate our coaching experience. But perhaps you're wondering, which assessment should I use in my coaching? I know it can be quite confusing, much like deciding which item to choose from that plethora of dishes from the menu card. Let me make it simple for you. Picture the world of assessments as a three-legged stool in your coaching toolkit, each leg representing a separate class of assessments that you can use. The first leg is your personality and style-based assessments, like the MBTI, the DISC, Insights, Discovery, etc. These normally represent a typology, a model that allows your coachee to understand their natural personality style. The insights that your coachee can gain through these assessments can help them navigate through how to flex their style, to make decisions, and interact and work with others. Research shows that these assessments have pretty good incremental validity, which means They add value above the traditional ways of predicting how an individual or leader would behave in an organization. Using the extended disc, I was able to help my coachee recently to understand his personality style better. I was able to help him gain insights into his introverted nature, and more importantly, know how to flex his style to meet his more extroverted team members. The second leg of the stool is what I'd like to call as show me assessments. These include in-basket exercises, leadership deep dive interviews, simulations, and 360-degree feedback assessments. What these assessments typically do are they show skills and abilities of your coaches. They represent a more realistic assessment of their competencies. I had a coachee called Rebecca. Rebecca thought her delegation skills were excellent. Her team, on the other hand, thought she micromanaged. When we used the 360-degree assessments, Rebecca had her aha moment. She was able to understand that there was a significant gap between her perception and what others saw her delegation skills as. We used the rest of the coaching conversations and discussions to explore how Rebecca could better up her delegation skills. And the last leg, the third leg of the assessments tool, is a combination of assessments that measure values, interest, and motives. As adults, you and I know that our values, interests are pretty much solidified and they govern our choices and decisions. In fact, research shows that there's a very high correlation between your core values, motives, interest, and the engagement and satisfaction you derive from work. So you and I as coaches can help coaches use this leg of assessments to identify which career path they should take perhaps. I had a coachee called Jatin. He was an IT professional for almost 15 years, and he was torn between choosing a full-time role or starting out his own venture as an entrepreneur. Using the personal values assessment and the Strong's interest inventory, Jatin was able to clearly understand which career choice resonated with his core values and interest. And we spent time in our coaching sessions to identify an individual development plan that could help him prepare towards this decision. So as you can see, each leg of this three-legged stool of assessments offers a unique view about our coaches. And together they provide a holistic understanding of our coachee. And this is so much like a three-way mirror in a dressing room, giving us far clearer insights. Using the WHYS approach, which is understand your why, investigate the research behind the tool, simplify the report for you and your coachee, and leveraging expertise to debrief. You and I can leverage this three-legged stool of assessments to ensure that assessments in our coaching don't just decorate, but amplify its impact. I am hoping that through this talk, I have been able to change your reaction and approach to assessments in coaching from confusion to clarity. So, fellow coaches, let's cut through the clutter. Let's use assessments in our coaching, not just to impress or even to create impact. Let's hope that by this, our coaching becomes truly transformative. Thank you.
Whoa, my gosh. Wise and three-way, three-legged stool. Is that what it is? Amazing. Can we have a round of applause for her, please? Or at least show of applause or a heart or any which way you would love to show your appreciation. Thank you very much, Rohini. This was insightful and I have goosebumps. I love assessments, but I never looked at them like this. I never looked at them as a three-legged stool, which one to use, how to pick the right one, what is a wise decision. Outstanding. Thank you very much.